This has to be like my seventh day of reading Atomic Habits, one chapter a day, and I am on chapter 6. So yeah. Just what am I? I'm not on chapter 6. I'm about to be on chapter 7. I just finished chapter 6 today, and today's chapter is motivation is overrated. Environment often matters more. And what I learned from that chapter is about ways of shifting your environment to better facilitate your habits. So one example that he gave is like if you, I don't know, you forget to take your medication or your vitamins or something, you kind of habit stack that with putting your vitamins like next to like maybe your breakfast, like wherever you store your vitamins, put that next to where like you make your breakfast, and you could have like your breakfast while you take your vitamins, or take it, or have your pill box next to, what is that word, next to your bathroom sink, so that like, because you're gonna brush your teeth, so you might as well take your vitamins while you're like right after you brushed your teeth or something, like whatever, you kind of stack those habits together. And basically for me, I've been and also another part of changing your environment too is like sometimes just, I mean, I've heard that before in other videos, but like changing your environment is like, sometimes moving to a different room, going out to like the park, going to a cafe, going to the library, going somewhere else, maybe, I don't know, even a restaurant, somewhere to do whatever habit or whatever you're working on. So like maybe if you're writing, instead of staying at home and write, you take that habit out to the cafe, a library or something. And like that changes the environment. It changes how you engage with that habit. He was also saying like you could reorganize your home, or, and also another thing is like, say like designating different rooms or a different place. Like for instance, an office is an office for the reason that you're gonna go and work in an office. I'm thinking about like how my own environment is, like outside is fine. I guess I could go outside and do stuff, but like within the house, there's certain things that I could do and I want to do. Like if I want to write, maybe I could go outside to the library, go to a cafe and write. But then I'm also like, if I want to write in the house, there's only so many places that I feel like I can really do that. And like currently, there's only so many places I could do that. But even those places kind of share uh, a a a habit identity or a task identity with that place. So for instance, like I can read, not read, I can write in my bed, but I also sleep in my bed, and then I also read in my bed. So it's like it's doing a bunch of different habits. Like that space is kind of having a whole bunch of habits at the same time, and sometimes it could kind of work, and then sometimes they're kind of clashing. So it's like if I write or read in my bed, I'm also like sleeping in my bed. So I might fall asleep on maybe what I'm writing or what I'm reading. I might even edit book. I might even edit what, like a video in bed. So I might fall asleep trying to edit a video where I need to find another location to edit, where I can be focused and get the editing done in a focused way, and not really be uncomfortable, or not get distracted while I'm editing. But then I also realized that like I cut the part of my issue with editing too is that I need to structure a set of like time when I edit, instead of just kind of like trying to blow through an entire edit, and an edit that might take more than an hour to get done, kind of trying to blow through that and then burning myself out and getting tired on the edit. Like just kind of give myself like, okay, I'm gonna work for like 30 minutes, and once that 30 minutes is up, you take a break, and then I could come back and do some more editing later. But I'm just like, I like to get it done immediately, and editing doesn't always work like that. Sometimes it just takes a lot more time to edit what I'm editing, and I'm just gonna have to give myself like 15, 30 minute like intervals of work, of doing the work, and then take a break and then come back to it and get it done that way. But that implies so much more organization and scheduling and structure that I'm still working on. And talking about scheduling and structure and all that stuff, I had to sit down and kind of write out like a plan, an identity, like a plan to change my identity through my habits. So far from what I've read in the book, I've like kind of wrote down my ideas of what I am going to do with my so far I've written down what I'm going to do in order to make adjustments. First up, like the book says, in order to like start the I guess to start the process, I have to decide the type of person I want to be. And I did like some shadow work on that. I've kind of compiled a lot of things so far. Mainly, like I said in a previous video, I've compiled my my values, principles, beliefs, kind of thing that I've come up with about the type of person I want to be. I want to be somebody that's reliable, responsible, disciplined, committed, consistent, probably even more things. And but so far I have that, and I have to kind of also kind of want to write that out and stick that up on my wall so that I can kind of see that as like this is the person I want to be. This is the person that I'm going to be. This is the person that that would once I do my habits. This is who I'm being once I do as I do these habits. As I commit to doing these, not even just commit to doing these habits, but every time I execute on a habit and complete it, I'm like putting a vote more towards this is the person that I am and this is the person I'm becoming. So I kind of decided on that person, but I'm still kind of like I feel like it's incomplete. But I also got to understand that like I'm a human being. I'm always constantly growing and evolving and changing and moving up. So as much as I kind of want to feel like I need to add more stuff, it feels incomplete. It's probably complete for now, and as I don't know, as I become better with my habits and my identity shifts and it changes and I become better as the person that I am, there will probably be more that I will need to strive to being as a person. There's probably going to be new uh um how do I even describe it? There'll be more ways that I would want to define myself and decide on the person that I want to be going forward. And I'll just have more new habits to add in, more ways that I need to change my habits to shift my identity going forward. And next is to prove the person that I am with to prove the person that I am with small wins. And under proving myself with small wins, the plan going forward is I will list my daily habits, that my regular habits that I have now, and score them, and from those I will like work on improving the ones that I currently do now and kind of really work on building those habits, and then also work on removing, decreasing the other habits that aren't improving me. Try and replace I don't know, more destructive habits or less productive habits with more productive habits, and figuring out how to instead of like scrolling on, getting on I don't know, we'll just say getting on the internet and scrolling, getting on, Instagram, TikTok or something, or on Twitter and just like scrolling, minding everybody's business on there. Like whenever the cue for that strikes up, straight like whatever the cue is, whether I'm bored or something, like I think of something, like switch that to like maybe the cue would be I'm gonna write, or I'm gonna meditate, I'm gonna journal, I'm gonna exercise, like find a different habit to kind of switch that out with. And the next thing on that list is from the habits that improve my life, use implementation intention sentences. So basically an example of that sentence would be I will do X behavior at X time in X location. So that way, once I start, so basically, whatever habit I'm implementing, like if it's a new habit or whatever habit I'm gonna do, I can specify what the habit is or the behavior it is, the time I'm gonna do that behavior, if it's like one that I'm gonna be doing every day, and where I'm gonna do it. But if it's like a habit that I'm kind of replacing a less desirable habit with or a less desirable behavior with, I at least know the location of where I'm supposed to do this habit, and yeah, mainly the location, like the location, and then if there's any other specifics, like for instance with exercise, if like I'm replacing, scrolling with exercise, I specify like what kind of exercise I'm gonna do, how many, maybe how many reps, or for how long I'm gonna do this exercise for, and if there's any other specifics like that, like, and where I'm gonna do this exercise. That's the other thing, location. So it's a plan. I'm gonna have to write that out and just kind of get more detailed with that. But so far, this is like kind of like the macro version of the plan for me, and then I'll kind of break it down. The next thing I want to do is, yeah, the next thing under proving myself with small wins is figure out the habits to stack together and follow that order regularly. So basically, the example of that would be after I do this particular habit, I will include this habit right after. So basically, the habit stacking. And from what I learned today with my environment, I need to work on designing, ways to change my, basically figure out ways to change my environment, curate my environment, organize my environment, design my environment, or assign particular aspects of my environment to particular habits or behaviors, or update my and or update my environment in other ways to facilitate my, like, my positive habits. Basically, this plan, first things first, this plan is not complete because I still haven't completed this book, and there's so much more that is probably going to go into how I'm going to be executing this. But so far, these are the things that I'm going to start trying to work on. Like, I've already kind of worked on the type of person that I want to be, and kind of establishing who I want to be, a writer, content creator, you know, and in order to be that person, these are the core values of reliability, consistency, uh, what's the other words? Um, Commitment, responsibility. Like, those are mainly the core ones at the moment. And then I'm already started listing my daily habits, and now I just kind of have to score those, and after I score those, I need to really focus on organizing my habits so that they're kind of stacked, have that stacked habits, and follow them regularly daily, and keep, working on getting the momentum up on my habits, on the ones that I already have, because I've realized that with like something that he's talking about in the book is like implementing new habits, and I feel like some of my habits aren't necessarily new, they're just not as consistently done. There's like I brush my teeth every day, but I take a shower every day, but there's also, I'm I started meditating. I meditated for a few days. I journal for a few days, and kind of had like a a a sequence of days that I was able to meditate or journal or exercise. But then I kind of fall off. I stopped. Something happened. Something came up. Exercising, I was too sore one day, so I couldn't exercise the next day, and I didn't get back to it, and my mind was kind of off of it. So now I'm just try now now with exercise, well, not just with exercise, but now with the habits, I want to start just kind of like habit stack all of those and decide on when I'm going to do each and everything, where I'm going to do it, and also make the process as easy as possible by like specifying what I'm going to do, but also make the process of what I'm doing as easy as possible. So, like, especially with exercise, deciding on what exercises I'm going to do at the time and the location I'm going to do them, but also give myself like a ease into exercise instead of like doing too much with my exercises, and then I'm like either too sore or like the next time I decide to exercise, I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't want to do all of that. Just kind of like start slow, start with a few, and then work my way up, and just kind of really, because right now I feel like I'm building a lot of momentum when it comes to habits, and also changing how I feel about myself and how I see myself and how my mind is working. I'm building momentum in being this new identity and better identity. And it's starting slowly, and it's starting very slowly too as I make this video. Like, not make this video, but like as I read each chapter every day and then I document it with on video, I'm building a habit here too. And I'm building momentum as a person doing this regularly. I do think one of the things that I'm having an issue with when it comes to doing this every day is that I've not scheduled I haven't done an implementation intention completely with this. Like, I need to specify it down even more to like, okay, the time that I'm going to read Atomic Habits, and then after that make the video and when I'm gonna post it. And that's kind of like where that's the only thing that's kind of holding me back. Like, I'm still getting stuff done, but then it's like I'm kind of, not doing it in a timely fashion. I feel like it's a little too up and down when it comes to the time. I'm still doing it every day, but like the timing's off. So I need to improve on my timing, and that's gonna be part of the plan. I'm just part of it is that I need to go to bed, and that's a habit. I think that's the first habit out of all the other habits that I need to work on, is going to bed at a practical time for me, and so that I can wake up earlier, so that I can have that fresh energy, and have uh yeah, and just have more time in the day, more daylight time to, and more stuff I could get done that is productive, that I want to do, that I am excited to do and get it done. But yeah, that is the plan going forward, and I'll be updating that plan, and then I'll be going even more specific, more detailed about what I'm gonna do for myself. I don't know if I'm about to be. Well, I don't know about sharing that on camera, but maybe I will. Who knows? Because at the end of the day, who am I talking to about this? Talking to me. You know. But yeah, I will definitely, for me, just specify. Yeah, I'm gonna specify and just get more detailed about the habits that I'm gonna be doing, how I'm gonna go about doing them, when I'm gonna be doing them, where I'm gonna be doing them, and just keep fine tuning it so I can make this process of changing my identity a lot easier. It's not gonna be like super super easy. It's not gonna be like, oh my gosh, we're just gonna fall. Like, there's work, and I'm doing the work. It's just that once I've done this kind of preliminary work, the action is just gonna get easier and easier to do. Like, as I start and as I continue, because I already structured and set up a plan. And Uh, like I said before, I'm grateful to James Clear for Atomic Habits, because it is helping me to be a lot more organized and structured. That's one of my core values or principles or whatever that I'm, you know, I'm building up within me. So I'm starting to see that in myself, and you know what, babes, I'm proud of me. I'm proud of you, doll. I'm proud of you a lot. No, babes. I'm no, like seriously, I'm proud of me. I'm proud of you. I am. Thank you for spending your time with me, and I am out this bitch like Fleek. Shout out to Peaches. Thank you, girl.